Hello, I'm Lucas Sylvia, an attorney at Chisholm and Kilpatrick.
And I'm Brandon Paiva, a lead advocate here at Chisholm and Kilpatrick.
Right. Today, Brendan and I are going to talk about a type of VA disability compensation that's called SMC K. Now, sometimes a VA disability rating doesn't capture the actual severity of a veteran's conditions. And in those instances, these veterans can be eligible for special monthly compensation, or SMC, which can provide a higher monthly benefit than the combined rating alone will do. Now, there are several types of SMC that are based on different criteria, and each one of those has a different letter designation. So today we're going to be talking about SMC K, which applies when a veteran has suffered, quote, loss or the loss of use of a body part or function. So with that, Brandon, could you talk to me a little bit about how SMC compensation is different from other types of VA compensation and other types of SMC compensation?
Sure thing. Thanks, Lucas. So SMCK is a bit unique compared to other SMC benefits, which you would know are designated by letters, SMCL, SMCM, SMCS, etc. Most types of those SMCs replace your regular VA disability compensation. So, for instance, if you are paid at 100%, if you have a combined rating of 100%, or if you receive, let's say, SMCS, you will receive your monthly payment at the SMCS rate. Whereas something that is a bit unique about SMCK compared to all of the other SMC letters is that SMCK is paid in addition to your monthly VA compensation that you're receiving for your regularly sort of like scheduler rating. So if you receive 80% combined disability every month, SMCK is paid on top of that 80% that you're receiving. You can even receive SMCK in addition to other types of SMC, except for SMCO, SMCQ, and SMCR, which, with some other minor exceptions, of course. You can also receive SMCK multiple times if you have multiple qualifying body parts or functions that will qualify for SMC at this K level. Now, in 2024, SMCK claim currently pays an additional $132.74 per month. We expect the annual cost of living adjustment to increase next year, so SMCK we're expecting would be $136.19 in 2025.
Okay, yeah. So it's something that can really kind of add up over time. So, kind of going off of that, could you talk to us a little bit about what body parts and types of functions that can be eligible for SMCK compensation?
Absolutely. So we'll start with the most common sort of body part and function that we typically see, at least here at our practice at Chisholm and Kilpatrick. The most common body part that we see qualifying for SMCK are reproductive organs, more specifically erectile dysfunction, for example. Typically, erectile dysfunction is one of the SMCK benefits or the body parts that we see affected that are eligible for SMCK benefits. We usually see a lot of our clients who have those benefits either coming to us or something that we're able to work with them to hopefully achieve with VA. Aside from that, each hand can qualify for SMCK, each foot, both buttocks, blindness of each eye, at least to the point of having only light perception, deafness of both ears, inability to speak, and loss of 25% or more for the female breast tissue. These are all generally conditions and body parts that we typically see which qualify for SMCK benefits.
Yeah, so it's quite a long list. So delving a little bit deeper for a second, talked earlier about, it compensates for loss or loss of use. Now, those are separate concepts. Those are separate definitions. Could you kind of go into each one kind of briefly for us?
Absolutely. So there is a distinction, like you had said, Lucas, between what loss is defined as and what loss of use is defined as. Generally speaking, loss, according to VA standards, refers to the physical loss of a body part, for instance, an amputation. Now, loss of use is a little bit different in loss, and that loss of use doesn't necessarily mean that the affected body part is gone, but that it has become unusable as if it were amputated. For example, if you have a hand or a foot that is paralyzed and you're unable to, grasp cups or really function or do anything with that extremity, basically it would serve the same purpose as an amputation. So that qualifies for loss of use, even though the affected body part is still part of the human body system and not amputated. It's almost as if the body part affected was so unusable that it is almost like an amputation. VA will consider whether the veteran must rely on a prosthetic or even assistive devices. Typically, we see these referred to as like a cane or a wheelchair because the affected limb or organ no longer functions effectively without it. The VA will typically look at factors such as whether the loss of function prevents the veteran from performing essential daily activities in order to see if that veteran would qualify for SMCK, either by the loss or more typically the loss of use sort of threshold that we would have to show in those cases.
Right. Yeah. No, it sounds like it can get pretty complicated, and unfortunately, SMC is complicated, and we see both of us, everybody here at the practice, we see VA making mistakes about these claims almost all the time. Pretty much every day, there's some mistake somewhere. For our listeners out there, watchers out there, it's highly recommended that you work with a VA accredited attorney or VA accredited claims agent to help you with these claims. If VA denies your claim and you have a decision, you do have a window, a period of time in which you can appeal that decision. So we would strongly consider you to hire a VA accredited law firm like Chisholm and Kilpatrick, like CCK, before that appeal window closes. And then, if you have any questions, if you have any requests for other videos, please leave a comment. Don't forget also to like, share, and subscribe to get future updates from us. Thank you, Brandon.